Then the next morning, Pinocchio and his father Geppetto were playing some Red Dead Redemption 2 on PlayStation 4. Yep, because it was on a Saturday morning. But then suddenly a great evil swooped by and took Pinocchio away from his dad Geppetto. And this great evil is known as the Emperor of the Night, portrayed by Tim Curry. Come with me, boy, and you'll be forced to work for me. And Geppetto tried everything to grab his son away from the Emperor of the Night, but it was no use. He was as gone as paper or tumbleweed in the wind. And Pinocchio was tossed into a jail cell, awaiting his orders from the Master of Evil, the Emperor of the Night. And of course, he had also other villains living with the Emperor, like No Heart and Professor Coldheart from Care Bears, Shredder, Krang, and Leatherhead from Ninja Turtles, the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, the Disney cartoon, and not that god-awful remake. Even Skeletor from He-Man was living in that big nasty castle. Yes, even Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z were also hanging out with the Emperor in his pad. And Pinocchio was upset and alone that he was inside the jail cell, being forced to work for the Master of Evil for eternity. Thankfully, he's a waterproof robot. But surprisingly, there were other people in that same jail cell awaiting their orders, like Tender Heart Bear and Bright Heart Raccoon from Care Bears and Donatello from Ninja Turtles. Like, I think we're going to need the Care Bear cousins' help on this one. Let's go. That's right, Hugs. Graham's new TV show teaches kids how to cook along. Not for long, Grandpa. We're about to make a brand new friend. And now the moment I've waited so long and hard for is finally here. We'll know in a second. We'll just have to trust the wind to blow us the same way it blew our friends. I'll have to examine it first. This is where we lost them. Brightheart, do you know any idea on how we can get out of this stinking jail cell? Well, to be honest, little buddy, I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, exactly what Brightheart said. Wait a minute, you're Donatello, aren't you? You know, from Ninja Turtles? The very same Donatello. The one with the voice of Barry Gordon. Donnie, you're an inventor. Find a way to get us out of here. Before we all end up as slaves. You know, do stand-up comedy. The same jokes every night for all eternity. And surprisingly, Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny were also in the same jail cell. Like, hey you! Are you the original Mickey Mouse? Come on, boy. Haha. Minnie, you're all the music I'll ever need. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Yeah, pardon me, Mac. Yeah, what's all the hubbub, bub? Well, what do you expect in an opera? A happy ending? Pinocchio decided, hey, why don't we just flush ourselves down the drain to actually escape the Emperor's tyranny? You know, that might actually work. Exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Flushing ourselves down the drain is a great way for an actual escape. Well, to be honest, I was also thinking that idea. Haha, me too. Haha. Gosh, how do you get this thing to work anyway? Here, Goofy, I'll show you. You just simply press the lever and it makes that sound. And that's how we actually escape. Wait a minute. Roddy, what are you doing here? Pinocchio, I've come to bust you out of here. There's no need for that, amigo. I've already hatched up a plan on how we can get out of here. By flushing ourselves down the drain. Oh, 9. This can't be good. Trust me, it is foolproof. So, Pinocchio y sus amigos all flushed themselves down the drain in order to escape the Emperor of the Night's tyranny. And then, when his rodent and reptilian army were checking the prison cells, they found out that their prisoners have disappeared. And Pinocchio was actually brave enough to actually survive in the cold water, because he's a waterproof robot. And I mean a waterproof robot. And the dreaded Lizard King pretty much gives the Emperor of the Night the bad news. Wearing his 1990 style gangsta gear. What are you doing here, you imbecile? I'm afraid I got bad news, your awesomeness. This isn't going to be easy for me, but the only lizardly thing to do is to tell you straight. That robot and the other cartoon characters have escaped. What? No one escapes from me and gets away with it. So, the Emperor of the Night pretty much gave chase. But luckily, Pinocchio and the others were able to escape, including his newfound buddies, Brightheart Raccoon from Care Bears and Donatello from Ninja Turtles. And even Aurora's fairy godmothers, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather from Sleeping Beauty have also made their daring escape by actually turning into mice, and then changed back into fairies when they got out of that prison cell. And they eventually found themselves in the lacrosse sewers. And Pinocchio unexpectedly came across Slick and Sly again. And Slick, the German Shepherd, and Sly, the long-tailed lizard, are portrayed by Paul Lynde and George Carlin. Like, what's in it for me? You got yourself a deal. I know what I'm doing. I handle stuff like this all the time. Maybe they're in that Cirque du Soleil or something. America the Beautiful, one big continental commercial cesspool.
is just dandy.
Wait a minute. Slick, Sly, Rudy? What brings you here, in the darkest corner of the sewer? Well, we too ended up being captured by that ghostly tyrant.
Yeah, and we had no choice but to live in the sewers for a while.
Oh, that explains it. You must have been hanging out with Braveheart Lion and Michelangelo from Care Bears and Ninja Turtles, respectively. Well, Slick, Sly, you remember these guys, right? Like Brightheart Raccoon and Donatello. Don't worry, Grumpor. There's more than one way to make friends. Come on, let's get our supplies. Oh, yeah? And you're a flapjack. You want to fight some more, or shall we find a way out of here?
Gee, you don't suppose to mean me.
So, Pinocchio and his friends, including Slick and Sly, traveled the whole globe together, including the Eiffel Tower in France, the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, the Hamburg-style restaurants in Germany, some video arcades in Osaka, Japan, took a boat ride in South Korea, Annyeonghaseyo, Konnichiwa, Guten Tag, Bonjour, Hola, Buongiorno. They went to some beautiful shrines in Bangkok, Thailand, then looked around some wonderful places in Singapore, and then traveled to New York City for one of those fashion shows. And the latest fashion trends at Chanel, then Macy's, are beautiful gowns with long opera gloves and choker necklaces. And Roddy the Cricket was actually amazed by the beautiful women in those fashion shows, like the ones at Chanel. Well, Pinocchio, I have to admit, you were right. This is really fun.